In this lesson, we're going to concentrate on how to read the chord diagram boxes. Okay, before we even pick up the guitar, I want to talk about the diagram to the left and how that's going to correspond with the guitar itself. So the reason why I've got the guitar up right now is just so that you can see the way that it's strung from the 6th string to the 1st string. That's how we're going to be looking at our chord diagram. You'll also notice that there's a big X on the 6th string. That means that he's not included. So we're going from the 6th to the 1st. We're not including the 6th string. There's also a C above here, so that's the name of the chord obviously, and that also represents that this is the top of the guitar. Sometimes if it's further down the guitar, you'll get a reference point for being maybe even the 4th or 5th fret, but at the moment we don't have any fret references, so we're going to assume that that's the first 4 frets of the guitar. So let's get a close-up of my left hand now actually playing the formation, and we'll talk about the fingering. Okay, so we know where the head is of the guitar, and that's where the C is at the moment. So that's sort of representing the end of the guitar, and we've got the first 4 frets. Now, quickly reiterate that we're not including the 6th string because there's a big X there. And we've got fingers on the 1st, the 4th, and the 5th string. One thing you will notice is that the 1st and the 3rd string in this diagram don't have an X above them, so we do include that, and even in some cases if they want us to include the open note, the chord diagrams will have a little circle representing those strings being open. Before we go any further, I wanted to jump back to episode 2 just to reiterate what we were talking about with our finger numbers. So we've got our 1st finger, our 2nd finger, our 3rd finger, and our 4th finger. So let's jump back to the diagram now. So now that we've recapped on what our finger numbers are, you'll notice in the C chord we've got a 1, a 2, and a 3 in the diagram. So that's representing our 1st, our 2nd, and our 3rd finger. So I'm going to get my 1st finger, otherwise known as the pointer, to 1st fret of the 2nd string. And I'm going to get my 2nd finger, which is also the middle finger, to 2nd fret of the 4th, and then my ring finger to 3rd fret of the 5th. So we're just using our 1st, our 2nd, and our 3rd finger, like so. And that's the basics of reading a chord diagram.